Hello, everybody. I always feel super on top of things when I remember to actually look at the camera while I'm going live because usually I'm like this or that or reaching for something. I don't know. It's the little things these days, right? How are you guys doing today? If you are watching live, welcome. It's a sunny and cool March day. Almost said February. It is technically March now here in Jackson, Michigan. And if you're watching any time afterwards during the replay, we're happy to have you here. I'm just getting my hand cam / phone set up here real quick. So sorry for the distracted. I hope there's nothing going on out in my living room. I hear dogs prancing around. I bet Walter's over here. I was going to put the camera on him, but I bet he's going to be elusive as he tends to be. Well, there is the live view of our beautiful earrings or pendants. You could use these as either item. Oh, let me make sure my... let's see. I think we can do just a little bit better here on the setup. Sorry, guys. A little bit more light. I think I can move. So if you ever see me really struggling with something, it's because my, there we go. My camera stand for my phone is sticky on the bottom. So it and it's not just sticky like, oh, you can like almost slide it. It's like you have to like lift the seal up and then move it around. But okay, so where was I before I got distracted by? It was either dogs walking or dogs like getting into a pile of something they should not be getting into. So again, I apologize for my distraction. It is officially, it's 11:59. We were set to go live at noon, so I'm going to give people just a minute longer to get on here, but let's talk about the individual projects while we're at it. How does that sound? So the triangular hoops, this is the most complex, so we might warm up with some other pieces first, but this is a, now I am not a wire working expert, so sometimes I don't even know what kind of a weave I'm doing, even though I am doing something probably specific. Hi, Lois. Oh, I'm so glad you enjoyed that video. So I guess I should explain also, these projects were all things that we featured and talked about during our live video we did with our good friends over at the Bead Place. So make sure and check them out if you don't already follow them on YouTube or Facebook. But this piece is using 26 gauge wire. Oh, good, I have it up on the screen there. These triangular hoops. Here's a blank one that doesn't have any weaving on it. So you could do lots of fun things with these hoops that are not as involved. This just happens to be something that I was inspired to do. And it was from a project I saw, or a piece of jewelry I saw on the Sundance website or in the catalog. Hi, Becky. But there are 2mm fair polish on here. I happen to use a tonal. So I've got the copper triangle with a silver craft wire and then a copper plated 2mm fair polish. We don't currently have craft wire listed on our website. All the other things I'm talking about in this video today are available at beadstoliveby.com. And I will drop a link in the comments. Sorry, I forgot I wanted to get that prepped so that you guys can easily search all of these items. We've got them tagged on our website so that when you search by Inspired by Sundance, it just pops right up. So we've got that link in the comments for you too. but we're going to talk about how to get a really easy organic weave on these. And again, this is a slightly more than beginner level technique, even though it's not anything super complicated. So we'll probably warm up with the other wraps first. So then the next thing I want to talk about is this this oval hoop earring that probably has sold the majority of my purple turquoise that I have here. And it is not even going to be close to being done justice on camera. But as you can see, there's a reconstructed turquoise with other purple dyed stone. And then the edge is painted in real copper powder. And that, because it's going over other colors, you will see that in person. We also have turquoise, like green turquoise versions of these stones with the copper around the edge. And the color around the edge does tend to shift based on what kind of stone it is painted onto. So I've got this one with copper. I could have easily put it with a soft gold. They also look good with brass, especially the turquoise ones. The green seems to look even more brassy colored. I can hear Walter behind. He's so interested in knowing what I'm doing and who I'm talking to. So here we're featuring this oval hoop that we have been carrying recently. And we do have these and the triangles in 3 different colors. The small or medium size of our turquoise in this style in the purple specifically will look really good with this size oval. This, even though it's like a smaller medium size in this piece, the sizing in the green turquoise, this is similar to that large size. So, unfortunately, they're not consistent because the strands they came on weren't the same as far as the variety of sizes available. So that is why there's a difference in the size versus the name. And then we've got a 26 gauge wire on the bottom here that is helping to put these adorably perfect iolite drops on. And that's just one step away from a traditional wire wrap technique. So I'm going to show you guys how I did that, but it's not anything fancy. That is just utilized that way because the iolite has a very small hole. So please know that when you are ordering that strand, it comes in a strand for $20. It's graduated. It would be really excellent for lots of other projects aside from just drops and dangles on earrings, but you do have to be mindful of what you're using with it. I don't know that I was able to even fit my 24 gauge head pin in any or all of these drops. So a thin thread, 26 gauge wire, these are the things you're going to need to be working with if you want to use these iolate drops. Oh, Lois, you definitely should check out the website for the beads. For those people that are close enough to drive to our store, we are in the process of moving right now. This is March of 2024. And I just point that out because our hours are not very consistent and we're going to have to close for a period of time in order to finish moving. So I don't want anybody to show up unexpectedly. We are open Saturday, March 2nd from 11 to 3, just in case that works out for you. Oh, those dogs. Oh, good, Becky. Your package is out for delivery. Becky got some of the beautiful beads. Hi, Maria. Oh, good. I'm so glad you guys are watching. This was a good time to do this then. So, last but not least, this is a super versatile idea and earring. Would be an adorable dainty pendant. I think you could hang it on a piece of soft flex wire that is in a tonal color similar to your beads, or you could do like a real simple small chain. You would want something fairly dainty. These are a fairly dainty earring in the way that they're currently set up, but this is part of our gemstone luxury mix that we made for you all. And this was inspired by, again, the event a couple weeks ago with the Bead Place. But we were just so excited about all these strands we found. So we've got turquoise, garnet, citrine, peridot. I didn't end up using, there is some aquamarine that's faceted in the mix. I don't have it on here, but I've got some of the rose quartz that was there, and then some pearls. So those were really awesome. And the mix comes with, somebody is begging to come up and see us. Come here, Waffles. So in the mix, there's enough for you to do at least a pair of earrings. And you might have some extras left over. You could do a really adorable bracelet or necklace if you space them out with seed beads or other types of spacers. And you could, also, again, use this as a pendant, and you could do a dainty pendant like this for 2 people, or do a larger pendant for 1 person. Oh my goodness. Okay. Had to capture the baby girl. So everybody's saying hi to each other. Okay, wanted to make sure I didn't miss any questions. This is Waffles. If you don't follow us, right, leading up till today, finding our video somewhere in the future, she is our dog that we got as a therapy dog for our rescue dog that we got. We've had Walter for, I think it'll be 2 years in May. That's insane to me. But Waffles is just not quite a year and a half old, so she's still a little bit of a puppy. She is the goodest girl, isn't she, Becky? She's just being a ham today. She didn't feel good this morning, so she needs a little extra love. But I'm going to she's got a bed right next to me where she can snuggle up. Okay, there we go. If there's an errant piece of dog hair in the video, I apologize. So one thing I do want to point out that I have not done yet is I have these Nepal pieces. My friend took a trip to Tibet and or Thailand. He was all over the place. He brought back some really cool things. So I do have these fantastic pieces that look like the stones are not real lapis and turquoise, but that's what it looks like. And it's set hand inlay with a mosaic sort of pattern. And I just think that those look so stinking fantastic with these brass hoops. So I might have to play around with that. I wouldn't put a drop on the bottom, so I'm not sure if I would do anything else to kind of accent the bead. But I think I said everything I wanted to say. I didn't even show you guys. Okay, that's when the dog started distracting me. Here is the supply list. So we used our ball pins for hanging the beads. I don't think I listed, this is like on a 24 gauge wire. And I'll edit that when I'm actually working on the earring. And then we've got some O beads as accents in there, just a little something to give it a little space. So those are check glass. It doesn't have to always be just gemstones when you're working with things, or when you're working with other gemstones. And then I love these little ear wires. They look especially good with the ball pins. And we do have those listed on the website in different colors too. If you didn't notice already, I did use a mix of, I've got gold and silver wire / ball pins in this piece because I just wanted to mix it up. And that's something that is very indicative of Sundance brand. They regularly mix metals, and it's something I always enjoy doing in my jewelry because I think, frankly, it gives you the ability to wear it with more too. But we are going to go back to, I think we're going to work on the oval hoops first. And that's not even really, we're not going to make a full hoop. I'm just going to show you guys how to do those drops. So with that, since the drops are graduated along the strand, I did use different sizes in my finished piece. And gosh, here we go again. I thought I had my bead scoop around here somewhere, but it's Not available. So ceramic dishes are cuter anyways, right? See, there's a mix of sizes because I've pulled them all off the strand, and I like using a larger size and then two slightly smaller sizes. You can do three different sizes altogether, but just see there's a slight difference. From the biggest to the smallest, you can really see the difference in those drops, but you know, if you get a couple that are really close together, they look very similar in size. So if you need or want to do something that has like some of the same size drops on it, you definitely can do that. Sorry, I get so dry while I'm talking in videos or classes. I have to drink constantly, keep pushing fluids. And I am going to still use the copper wire for this one because I think it's a little bit easier to see what I'm doing. I'm going to match the colors of my other projects as I work on them. So hopefully you'll be able to see those. But I only cut about a foot of this. You might have enough to do more than one, but you'll probably have a lot of scrap if you cut this much. Sometimes it's just nice to not have to worry about the having the concern of running out. Such tiny holes there. Okay, so I'm working with the biggest drop first, just so it's a little easier for us to see. And I'm bringing it about to the middle of that piece of wire that I cut. And then I am bending the one side of the wire that's at the base of the drops, the largest end of the drop, bending that up. Just ignore the tiny puppy sounds. And we're going to wrap that around and give it a couple twists. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. Whiny puppies. Okay, and we're frozen. There we go. Okay, so there you've got a very simple little twist there. We're not going to call it a wrap because it's not even really a wrap. And then I am grabbing, so today I think I'll only be working with my basic normal tools, which is a round nose plier, a flat chain nose plier, and a flush cutter, wire cutter. So once you have that drop secured, you're going to take you can use the tiniest part of your round nose pliers and then just do a bend like so. So you've got that right angle bend. Again, this is just like a normal basic wire wrap, but you're using two pieces of very thin wire to do this. And you could have ended one piece of wire and only wrapped to make the loop and the rest of the wrap with the second piece. But I like using the two pieces if I'm working with a wire this fine, 26 gauge wire. I think it's too fine to do just a plain wrap with one piece. I worry that it will fall apart or break easily. So we've got this partial loop. It's like a hook. And then we're going to replace our pliers and do one more bit of wrapping. Oh my goodness. Somebody needs attention. And there is, you can make your loop whatever size you want. And then because of the fineness of this wire, normally I would grasp my loop like that, but I am going to replace my pliers inside of that loop. And then I will do the wrapping like so. And I'm going to give it a good couple of wraps around that base. That just gives you a lot of extra security so that you can rest assured that you're not going to have as much trouble with something breaking or being bent out of shape. So then you have to just be careful with the size wire that you don't cut any of your other pieces. And see, I have tons of wire left over. So I would say for each of these drops, you could probably use more like 6 inches at a time for the drops. And you might find yourself needing to throw a dog outside. Also tuck. So you're probably not going to be able to see this on camera, but there's a tiny bit of that wire that's sticking out. So we're just going to give it a little tuck with our flat nose chain nose pliers. And that's probably not even like really necessary on an earring, especially it's just going to like hang off to the side, but so this is so funny. Becky says she wrote an entire song for her, I'm assuming, dog who likes to whine while she's filming, called Why Are You Whining, Ellen? Okay. I'm gonna let the dog outside so that maybe I have a chance of getting her to stop. And I will I just have to walk around my camera the one side and then come back. So the door is right there. Waffles, come here. You are so naughty. Why are you so naughty? Come here. I'm gonna make sure your friends aren't outside. Okay, go on. Okay. We'll see how long we make it in the video without her interference. So for the rest of that earring, all you would do is create as many drops as you want to dangle. You're not required to only do, excuse me, the 3 there. And I'm also realizing that I did not include the fact that you're also going to use a little bit of wire for that, turquoise. So 22 and 26 gauge wire, I'm thinking will be the best choices. And if for some reason you have trouble with a 22 gauge on that turquoise, you could use a 24, but I think 22 is just a little bit more stable and a little nicer for stability's sake. So the ear wire does fit straight through that hoop on there's holes at each end, which is really nice. So that is something else that I appreciate about the whole setup here, because it does get a little long. Like you are looking at some length when it's all said and done for this. That you can see on my hand, this is fairly long by itself. But you really need to make a statement with these turquoise. They're so fantastic. Oh, so apparently Maria is familiar with the Ellen song. I'm gonna have to go back and watch one of Becky's videos so that I can know what we're all talking about. Okay, let's do the harder one while Waffles isn't in here, maybe. I think all the correct pieces and parts are on there. And I've already made a set of these. That's the only reason I'm not going to finish this one off. But we're going to practice the wire wrap techniques over and over again so you guys will not have any trouble completing that earring on your own if you end up making one. So with this triangular hoop earring, I am using, again, a 26 gauge wire, and I really like the contrast of a different metal color from my triangle. So the triangles come in silver, bronze, or copper right now on the website, and because I'm working with copper, I decided to use silver as the wire contrast. And I'm cutting about 2 feet, so from the same shoulder blade to that hand is approximately 2 feet. And then we've got like 24 colors of these fire polish on the website. So you could do a fun accent color, but I'm just going to do this tonal and use copper for which I've got other beads mixed in with, but I'm going to use copper with the earrings we're working on today. So I did all 3 spots pretty much the same way, with the exception of at the top, you'll notice that there is extra space. So you'll see what I mean. I'll work with like the one corner and talk about the fact that on the top, when you get to that, you just have to start above this base of this loop. So you'll be working inside of that little loop and then working down a little bit, and you'll like skip over that loop. Um, the only thing you have to pay attention to there is you're gonna have to leave space to make sure that you can fit an earring through there, or create a whole separate wire loop for that if it comes to that. But you guys will see more what I'm talking about here. Oh. Becky, I didn't know you were musical. She said she's gonna make a full version of the song for Ellen with a ukulele someday. So that's exciting. All right, and we're just gonna like really pump up the light here if we can. There we go. Oh, Biz Waffle's asking to come back inside. It kind of looks like that. I don't know. Sometimes she'll wander over by the door, and then if you like crack the door open, she'll just go running. So I like to create an anchor of some kind when I'm weaving with wire like this. So I'm gonna take the end. So again, 2 feet of 26 gauge wire roughly. And we're just going to take a tiny bit and we're bringing it around just in a tight spiral type of wrap. And you're going to do it 2 or 3 times, just enough to secure that. And I am going to trim that part off already because I don't want it to be in the way of as I'm trying to do the rest of my weaving. So you also need to notice that right now my wire is underneath of this side. It came over this side and is going underneath of the opposite part. So if the corner is here, we're talking about one side and then the opposite side. So we're going to bring the long end of that wire, we're going over the side it's currently on and under the side that is across from the current piece. Now you're going to treat this little coil that you made like part of the earring and like it doesn't exist. So we don't want to make our weaving be around like on either side of it. We want the weaving to go over top of it. So we're going to take this piece of wire, we're coming back towards ourselves, we're going to go over the side that we're currently on and then through the middle and under the side that we're working towards. Now, as you begin to create this weave, we've got that first piece sitting here, right there. We're going to make this next loop lay further inward going this direction. So over this piece of the frame, under the opposite side of the frame. And when we pull this, we're going to make that lay next to. So you want to have these pieces of weaving that are, gosh, look how tight I'm holding it. At times it's like making this imprint in my hand. You repeat this until you have a section that you're happy with, and we'll compare it to our original one. And I even kind of almost push the wires like that direction, pinch them a little bit. But you want like a good little section here. And my biggest tip about working with this kind of finer wire and trying to create something woven like this is that you don't see me pulling a lot from here until I'm like done with my movement. So I'll tell you what I mean. I'm going to feed it back through. We're just going from one side to the other and back again. And I'm pulling all the way out here with the wire because that allows this to loop more like a thread. It's going to like relax the weaving. And then as it comes down, then I can start to guide that wire to sit properly. And then see, we're gonna like guide it through, and then we're gonna like Just gently manipulate the loop. And then as we get down further, then we bring it in and we really give it a tight squeeze. So without the fire polish on it, that's what we're looking at in the way the weaving looks. And you might have to pinch a little bit more on the side that you didn't have the coil start on. Oh, I hope Waffles didn't find a rodent outside. Oh, no. I was looking at her tail and not her head. Oh, goodness. And I should really get to the point where I compare this to my my original ones that I can see. Yeah, I probably have a few more weaves to do to get it to be similar. So this would work on a diamond shape, a square shape, anything with corners. You could do it on the two ends of an oval. The possibilities might be endless, but this looks fuller now finally. And you just have to be, I'm not being super stringent with the way the weaves fall, but I do want to have like a minimal amount of overlap. That looks more similar. Perfect. Okay. So this part, yes, it is like a figure 8, Lois, and there might even be a figure 8 weave and wire wrapping that I am not educated enough in the techniques to be fully aware of the name, but thank you. That is definitely what we are doing as a figure 8. So technically, the side that we have been weaving on, that we've been facing, is going to be probably the back will be the easiest way to do this. So flip it over. And when you bring this piece of the end of the wire up, you're going to, I'm going to push it through and then I'll show you guys because it's going to be hard. We're working on the same edge of the frame right now that we are currently existing on. And we're going to try to squish our wire somewhere up through the middle of the weaving. So there. So we're over in this corner on this side of the, the weaving as I knock my camera around. So we are doing that because we are going to position ourselves to, we're going to add 2 of those 2mm fire polish. You could use one larger bead than this. Anything that fits in the space is fine. A pearl would be excellent. And then after we do that, we're going to, just for the sake of consistency with the way the wire is moving, pull those 2mm beads all the way down to your woven piece. And then we're sticking our wire. You have to be really gentle with how you push it through, but you've got it coming out over on the weave on this side, and we're going in over on the opposite edge, but still inside of the frame. And this part is just as tricky with how you get that wire to lay. You're just going to pull that nice and tight once you get closer to the work, and then push down on those 2mm, like push them inward with your finger. And then I'm going to take the same edge of the frame that I'm currently on, wherever I can fit my wire in. I'm just going to make one more wrap to end my piece that I'm working with. And I don't know, I might have to, we got it through. So you see how I just wrapped that around. It's really kind of difficult to show this on camera to an extent, but there. Oh, and I see I've got a little bit of my wire that my fire polish is attached to when I came out is a little loose and loopy looking. But that's the thing about wire is you can push it into place and somewhat manipulate it without too much trouble. So once you've secured that other piece, you can very carefully, again, because you're working with that 26 gauge and you don't want to cut any other wires, trim it off. And then if you have a little sticky piece from the part that you just trimmed, you can always give that a tuck with your chain nose pliers. But now I can't even feel anything on the back side. So that is how you complete one of those little weaves. And I'm a little afraid I'm going to do the second one and then want to redo my first one because the first one was a little bit of practice, but we'll see. I might not try to be too picky. So now do you guys see what I mean when I say like you would start off up, inside of that loop and then just skip over that middle portion where it comes down. You're just going to be working around it to get that matching weave along the top. Okay. Moving on, and I think I said I needed to add on my chain link earrings, I have to add the 24 gauge wire to there we go. Next piece, and I need to get out my head pins. Or my ball pins. That's what I need. I might just check for waffles while I'm at it. One thing at a time, sort of, kind of, not really. I just stuck a bunch of. I've got a few in here. That'll get us started. So I just stuck a bunch of ball pins in my little findings area. Yesterday I was cleaning my desk off, which felt so good. I'm not completely done yet, and the rest of the store in the house is a disaster, but the desk is like somewhat clean. I'm gonna do a waffles check. I'll be right back. You guys talk amongst yourselves. You come inside? Oh, she's not gonna want to. Waffles, you want a cookie? You get a cookie? Oh. Okay, well, we tried. At least she's not off doing anything too feisty. She's just wandering the fence line. You guys didn't know you were going to get like a twofer with the dog show and the bead show. We appreciate your patience around here. Not at all a single dog mom, but, Chris has a job that he's gone for longer periods of time during the day when he's busy. And I try to fit, some of these videos in. Oh, there she is. Okay, maybe she's asking now. Who's here, Waffles? Who's here? Come on. Who's here, baby girl? Come see. You come see Grandma? Where's Granny? Come on. Waffles. Waffles. Inside. Come on. Inside. Come get your cookie. You got a leaf stuck to your face. Come here. Oh, come here. Poor thing has a leaf stuck on her little face. Oh, let me get it. There. There's 2 cookies for you. Yes, good girl. Okay. Now she's going to be barking, though. She saw something out front, so no winning here, but all right. So with this earring here or pendant, these would make excellent pendants for somebody that does not like, and this is not even a super big earring, but I think it would make a really cute pendant focal piece. But this would be a very dainty pendant. I think this is a good earring for someone that does not love anything very large. So I'm going to show you the basic components of it. I'll do the first chain link to the piece of turquoise. And then, gosh, that turquoise is so pretty. That is a super blue turquoise, which you don't see every day. And then attach it to the ear wire and everything just so you guys see some of the basic components of the process. So here we've got, let's see. Trying to find all my bits and pieces here. So this is the aquamarine that I didn't end up using in the earring, although I could still add it. But I really love this faceted version of that. And I usually like to start with one end of my wrap before I put a bead on if I'm doing just a wire wrap. So this is about a foot of 24 gauge wire. That would be enough for both earrings when it comes to this part of the earring. And we made the bend, and then we're making the loop around those pliers, and then you have to reposition the pliers so that you can bring that smaller piece around the bottom. I think they're doing some work on our road today, so there's that. And I like to, if I've already completed an earring, I like to hold up the wire to make sure that, or I like to compare my loops to make sure I'm making a more similar size loop. I'm sorry about the way that my camera focuses in and out so much. I need to look into why it's doing that. And we're going to go shut the door maybe so that we don't have to listen to waffles. So you can complete that loop as such. Momentary pause. Oh no, Lois. Lois, here, you guys can laugh about this comment while I'm closing the door. Oh dear. Waffles are getting picked up on camera. Now it's going to be a problem if she comes to the door trying to get back out here and can't get to me. She'll be obnoxious too. So that's a little bit better. Holy cow. So here is where we'll attach our ear wire. These ear wires are so easy. So you might have to open it a little bit. It just depends. But to start, you can slide it over your piece that you're attaching over this, the part that goes through the ear. And then sometimes there's enough room, but all you do is you twist that ball a little bit, the ball end, and then twist it back. Oh, goodness. Dog mom life. Glad you guys understand at least. So there is that attachment point. And then I am so glad I noticed this. I had made one of my wraps and hadn't attached the link to the next bead before. So like this is the very top of my earring on the other piece, and I hadn't attached it in the original one. So you have to put your turquoise on this. Yeah, I know, Becky, everybody does this. It does seem like it's a common issue. And I always try to pay attention to the direction that I make my loops. So like one is going one direction, one is going the opposite direction at the other end. Sometimes it helps your beads to sit, to hang nicely, display nicely on your earring. Sometimes it doesn't matter. And I did make this loop a little bit bigger at the bottom on the first earring than the top portion. So this is how, see what I'm doing? I hold my loop sideways when I'm making my wraps normally, and then you're just finishing that wrap off with your, and what did I not do? I did not put my, see, as I'm talking, there we go. Now, wrapping and unwrapping and rewrapping your wire might not work out well, so you have to like be careful with that because you're definitely in a position to break your wire. But I think because we're making this nice little coil, that once you get it wrapped, it's more secure than it could be. So there is that loveliness. And then what did I do for the next piece? I do have to find some of my O beads, unless I've got some in this little baggie of things here. I do not. I definitely, I know where I have some gold O beads, but maybe I have some in my usual place here too. We'll see. Spend about whatever seconds looking for them before I go grab them. I just hate getting up and getting off camera constantly. So this is the matte metallic gold. I'm assuming that's the name we use for it, but I can check in about Yep, matte gold on the website. And these are in that search link that I shared with you guys. I will post that in the comments one more time just for people that are watching after the live for the replay. And these will pop up right in that search link that I'm posting. But you only need a handful. I also used some of our Chuck bicones. That's what this bead is down here. So just a few glass beads mixed in to the stones, something that Sundance does frequently. And the only other thing that I'm missing now that I just realized is because I'm using the two-tone ball pins, I do not have my silver sitting out, but here they are. Oh goodness, and I just dropped something. It is full on, I don't know, this is my Monday, I think. Okay, Avanda is asking a question. With everything you have going on, forgetting a bead is such a minor thing. Avanda, that is very sweet of you. I really appreciate that. And yes, I needed that reminder. No, I was sitting here working on this and it occurred to me, and I got a little sad. We have been renting 2 spaces for the last 2.5 years. We needed to expand our area to include the website inventory we were adding, our backstock that wasn't out on display for the retail area. And so today was the first day that we've no longer have that in our possession. It went to the new renter. And I mean, everything's out of there. It has been a lot of work, and I'm so glad that part is over with. But it still just kind of hit me like, oh, somebody else's space now. So yes, my brain is all over the place. So with the next link, I chose an O bead, a pearl, and I've got a silver ball pin. The first one I used was the gold. And we're just going to do our repeated wrap here. And you want the top to be a little bit generous with the loop, because so normally when you do a dangle of things, we would work off of the top bead. So like we make this bead, or we have an O bead or an O ring or a jump ring, and then we attach everything to that the silver link on here. But the gold link of the first dangle is actually what we're going to feed the next ball pin into. So then when you look at it, get it to stop glitching out on us, it's actually creating a chain. And that's what gives you that cascading effect on the earring. And once you do that, you just keep going until, but you don't want teeny tiny little loop wraps. You want them to be a little bit more substantial because you want to give your beads room to like dangle and move around a little bit. Thank you, Becky. I thought that the OB just added a little something to the pearl. So, knowing that information, you've got the garnet and then the pearl with the O bead. And then I did a little bit longer stack here with a citrine, 2 O beads, and one of those little peridot, so that there was like some graduation in size here. And then that was on the gold ball pen. And then we went back to a silver ball pen with the piece of rose quartz and the check bicone. And that was how we made that particular earring. And you're done. 3 projects for the price of 1, time-wise at least. I think you could knock all 3 of these out in an hour if you were really like working quickly and if you had some practice with some of the weaving, because as I've done like those corner weaves, they've gotten way easier. The basic wire wrap you're using on those earrings and the oval hoops are all, like simple, basic. So if you are even a beginner, you just practice those a little bit and you're good to go. And again, just like with some of our little earring kits and things I've talked about recently, if you take the pieces for these projects and just like put them in sets together so that they're together, if you need a quick gift and you don't want to like make a bunch of things ahead of time, you could have a little area in your craft room or your house where you just have the sets of things put aside so that when you're ready to like whip up a couple projects, you've got them ready to go. Because half the time that I spend beading is looking for darn beads, right? Like half of the time that you are working on projects is just organizing and sorting through stuff. So anything I can do to make that a little bit easier for myself. Like I have a handful of projects just sitting around that are like personal projects just for fun that I don't have a lot of time to work on. But when I do, the stuff is all together. So Becky says, so pretty, so excited to play with these this weekend. Yep, I hope you get your package really soon, Becky. And Lois says, great products. I like geometric findings. So the wire wrap is genius. Oh, thank you, Lois. I hadn't even finished reading your comment. I had to go to the other screen to see what you said. I appreciate that. Again, that was definitely inspired by something else that I saw, but just the finished earring was the inspiration for, I sat down and figured out what would work best with our components that we're carrying now. So I hope you guys have lots of fun with wire. I've got a couple of stitch projects coming up. So for anyone who's missing the needle and thread projects, I've got lots of things in the works. And I promise I have not given up on my stitching, I don't know, my beginnings, my foundational beadwork. I just do enjoy working with the wire, and this is definitely indicative of the types of pieces we were inspired by for that video. So thank you so much for joining me. It's really been lovely chatting with you guys, and it's so nice to have some eyeballs over here on YouTube. If you are not following our YouTube channel, please just give a quick click on that. I know not everyone is very transparent about this always. Some people are, but YouTube actually will reimburse people for advertising when they reach certain levels of followers and viewers. So, as an independent business person who is just putting this content out there, um, many of you support us financially by purchasing products from us, and we so appreciate that. But if you're not able to do that, or if you just care to do other things to help us anyways, then liking, following, sharing the videos, anything like that is so much appreciated. So thank you for that. Oh, Avanda missed the beginning. So excited to rewatch. Yes, I will get off of here soon so that you guys can watch the replay and work on your own projects. And Becky says bead weaving takes some time, but a pair of earrings with some wire wrapping is nice for a quick project. That is very true, Becky. I could not agree more. So we try to toggle back and forth so that you guys have something to keep you occupied sometimes and something that works up real quick for you. So have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a great weekend. I'm hoping to be live. I will be at least once next week because I have a video scheduled with our good friends over at the Softflex company. And I have so many project ideas that I'm hoping to do another video in there somewhere, but we are getting very close to a full-on move into our new retail space. We are getting some work done next week, so it'll just have to be kind of play it by ear for now. But I also have lots of new things to list for you guys too, as far as beads go. So I'm going to try to work on that as well. And I will see you all soon either way. So have a wonderful time with your projects. And if you're watching the replay, thanks again for being here. Bye, guys.